Okay, so our event started, and welcome everyone to our stream about our startup analysis process and 3x Capital Education. We're happy to see everyone here. And my name is Petro. I'm a senior investment analyst. And together with me today, we have our GP, Ivan Maltsev, and partnership manager, Oksana Vodonos. So before we start today, let me tell you a few words about 3x Capital and what we are doing. So basically, we are an investment firm which supports Web3 startups with investments, but additionally, we do advisory services and some testing applications for projects. So far, we've made 45 investments and advised founders from around the world. And you can check our website, which we will share with you in the comments to get more information about what we are doing. And I highly encourage you to drop questions and comments in the chat during our event, which you will find on LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever you're currently watching us. We will cover everything after the presentation from Ivan, me, and Oksana. So today we will start with the analytical process of startups, how we do it in our fund. Then we show our example of analytical document, which we call deal sheet for a startup, explain everything inside. And after it, Oksana will cover more information on our 3x Capital Education. And there is one more important thing. I encourage you to stay with us till the end of the stream because in the end, we will share a little bonus with you. So stay with us and you will find out what you can get from here. And right now, I will pass my word to Ivan. Ivan, please start with your presentation. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Petra. Pleasure to be here. Good morning, good evening, dear ladies and gentlemen. As Petra mentioned today, the topic of our event would be a process of the startup evaluation, and we prepared for you some materials that we will share. And in the end, Oksana also will provide some insightful information for you. So first of all, I will start sharing my screen. Please confirm that you see my screen right now. You can write in comments or Petra can mention.
Yeah, we can see it, but currently it's like in a low quality. Let's wait a bit.
Sure. I'm sorry for my internet. I'm just arrived to my place in Kyiv and working from home.
Yeah, it's actually impossible to see anything, so.
Okay. If we go here, do you see my screen? I zoomed a bit, or it's really hard to see it?
No, it's impossible to see. I can say it's really poor quality. Maybe
Okay.
let's try it that someone of us will share the screen.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
it will help.
that would be better. Thank you, Petra. Also,
Yes.
maybe I should stop my video so the connection would be better. Guys, please give us some hints.
Now you confirm if you can see it clearly right now.
Yes, we can see it good.
I don't see anything at all.
That is strange. Right now you can see anything, Ivan?
Yes. I think there is a problem with my connection.
Let me try to share it one more time. What about now? Do you see anything?
No, I think I have a trouble with the connection. Let me reconnect in a moment.
Yeah. If Ivan, you're sharing your screen now, for me, I can see it perfectly. or
Yeah, but it's me. I'm
oh,
sharing
okay,
the screen, and let's wait for Ivan to reconnect.
sure.
If he still can't see the screen, we can continue this like mode. Yep, just a moment. Do you see it right now, Ivan? Yep, I enabled you. Do you see it?
No. I see just our screen in Restream. Oh, right now I see it perfect. Can you
Okay.
please zoom it? So as we mentioned before, we will share today the process of the startup evaluation. So here you can find the participants of the process. First of all, external partners that are marked as blue. We have general partners who are green. We have investment analysts who are gray, and marketing expert yellow. From the beginning, when we receive our startups in our CRM system, several sources of the deals streams we have. First of all, we receive our startup in our CRM in Notion from the external partner. So they usually use a form in order to submit the startup for our review and feedback. After that, we can also receive startup from our partners as venture funds or different service providers. So usually they send just a pitch deck and write some comments about the startup. And of course, our investment analysts are helping us with deal sourcing, so they can find the startups and submit to our CRM on their own. During our conferences and travels, we also find a lot of startups and submit them to our CRM as general partners. All of them goes through the process of screening. Every investment institution has its own investment mandate, and this stage is significant to understand if the startup fits your mandate or not, and actually decline more than 80% of the startups in order to move forward with the applicable founders only and their ideas. After that, we move to the weekly call with IM. It's me, Ivan Maltsev, and I'm very honored to manage our research department right now. And we talk with our investment analyst during an hour about every strong startups that is relevant for our investment thesis. After that, if we find out that this startup do not have any red flags and fits our strategy, we can, as we call it, reach out, frankly, initiate our contact with the founders, and it usually takes up to 7 days to have the first call with the startup team. So what we can see right now that more and more startups are struggling to raise capital in this long-term bear market, and they usually reply very quickly and organize the calls. Sometimes it takes up to 2 or 3 or maximum 7 days to organize the first call, and usually only investment analyst takes part in this call in order to create a summary and share with the team, and of course identify different weak points of the startup and mention everything in the message. For every startup that goes through our CRM system, we provide specific feedback, and only after that we reject the startup and it goes to a rejected stage. When we receive a summary, we can decide if we would like to monitor the startup and follow the updates or we would like to proceed with more detailed report that we call a deal sheet. So the investment analyst takes care of it, and during from 5 to 7 days prepare an one pager, everything about the startup. And by the way, today Petra will present one of the deal sheets to you, and you will find out how it looks and what criteria we are using to evaluate them. And if the deal sheet is great, we review it during the meeting with one of the general partners, and we decide if we would like to talk with the startup and ask more tricky and challenging questions. After the second call with the startup, when general partner also takes part, we write a summary. We update this analytical report, and we organize an investment committee in order to decide, is this investment worth, and what parts of the startups has to be improved. Petra, can we move forward, please? Thank you. After the investment committee, we do a legal and technical due diligence, and we organize a third call with the startup, where usually we can request additional information, or we can agree on the deal and how it will work. So frankly, that's the briefest process. Of course, usually it takes up to 5 calls to do everything. But after the third call, we also write a summary. We update theft and safe agreements, and review them, of course, and do the transaction to the startup. In the end, we do an announcement of our investment. We also create a detailed analytical report about the startup. We review this report together with the founders, and publish this report in our social medias. This work is done by our marketing expert. And of course, we add this startup to the website in our portfolio section. So that's the process in the short way presented for you. And I'm honored to give a word to Petra, who will present our deal sheet. And maybe that would be also something that would be very insightful for you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ivan. For me, it looks really structured, and it's way more easier to work and have this flow of process from the very beginning to the end somewhere noted. So it's a great way to track it. And one more thing before we start, maybe someone will have a question regarding our process. Feel free to put it in the chat and we will cover it. And also, I mentioned that in the end, you will have a bonus. So a little hint for you currently, you can start and be active in comments, and it will help you by the end of our stream. So if you have no questions, we can proceed to the deal sheet. Actually, preparing this analytical document, which we call deal sheet, is one of the main responsibilities for investment analysts, as me. So I've already prepared more than 40 analytical documents, and today I want to share one of the projects that we are considering for investment. So please confirm that you can see the deal sheet.
We see it.
Okay, awesome. So let's view it. Let's go through each section to understand on what we are looking when we are preparing this analytical document. So at first, let's look at the project. The project is called Button. So what they are building, they are making Web3 APIs, which allows to build NFT marketplaces, wallets, and different Web3 applications with their infrastructure without coding. So it's something like outsourcing your development to the company, where you're just paying the subscription fees and having your Web3 product ready. So currently they are working with big Web2 brands and helping them to switch and transit from Web2 to Web3 and integrate Web3 technologies. So if we look at the structure of the deal sheet, we are starting with all links at the beginning, where we have the project name, niche, in which project operates, and various links for the pitch deck, white paper, and socials. Then we have a section of executive summary, which is actually prepared after the whole document is ready. So we will get back to it after we will review everything, as well as we look at detailed analytical reports. These documents and calculations are prepared after we have all the information about the project reviewed here in deal sheet. And if we look, for example, in ROI projection, what we do there, we are using ROI from the past for different niches and calculating potential ROI for the project that we are reviewing currently. So next, you can see that we have sales round details, which is actually mean what is the current and past fundraising round, which project is running to raise funds. And if you look at bottom for their token round, they have 3 token rounds planned, starting with the seed, which is actually called also a private one, and all to the public round. So you can see the from starting from seed to public, the price is changing, and also the vesting period, which means how long the investor will be receiving token, is changing. And usually the price for earlier round is lower, but the vesting period is longer. And if you look at the amount of collected funds, the distribution of like percentage distribution for usual startup is that during the seed round, the startup is trying to raise at least 15 to 20% of the total funds that will be raised in the future. And the private round is the biggest round in terms of collected funds, as well as for Voton. You can see that during the private round, they are aiming to raise around 7 million. And for a public round, they plan to raise 12 million, which is not usual for each startup, but it also can be realized. So also what we are doing here, we are putting the links to some additional materials provided by the startup. For example, if we need to go back to tokenomics and review more detailed information, we just can click on this link and have access to everything. Then we go to the simple description of the product. So everyone who will review this deal sheet will understand what this project is about. And to summarize what the Voton is about is like a good one sentence, that Voton is actually the WordPress of Web3. Then we go to our analyzing of founder and startup team. So starting with founder, we put in the LinkedIn links for founders and co-founders and describing their experience in few short highlights. So you can see that, for example, for Voton, the founder is Luis, who has 26 years of experience in different entrepreneur organizations. And also he was working with the development companies in the past. A few more words about Marta, who is the co-founder and business development at Voton. He also is experienced in business development for previous companies, and he has specialization in law, sales, and business development. So what we are doing, we're trying to find as much as information as possible about founders and have this simple summary where we will understand what the previous experience of the founders looks like. Then we go to the analysis of the team. We are trying to understand the size of the team, how many developers there are there any missing roles on the team? For example, if the company has CMO and someone who will be responsible for go-to-market strategy, or if the company is already post-revenue, do they have a chief financial officer who is actually managing finance inside the team? We are considering all these things, and based on available information, we are putting a grade for each section from 1 to 5. And this grade is needed for us in the end to calculate an average grade of the startup and compare it with the startups from the same industry that we analyzed in the past. So the next section which we have is called solution. So here we are trying to define which problem the project is solving and how actually they are doing it. And we can look into some competitors who are already try to solve this problem and have actual solutions. So what will be the competitive advantage of the project that we are analyzing currently over the existing solutions? After we getting this, we go to the market analysis. So at first, we are looking at the overall size of the market. So here you can see that for the Web3 infrastructure, market in 2021 was 3.2 billion, and it's projected to grow to 116 billion by 2023. Also, usually for projects, we do market potential analysis and defining 3 different market potentials, which is total addressable market, serviceable addressable market, and operatable market. So after that, we are defining the closest competitors to understand how big the company can grow in the future. So for this exact example, for the bottom, we can see that main competitors are Alchemy, which already realized their API solution. They have a latest valuation of 2.5 billion and working with top tier companies like OpenSea, Lido, Meta, and Chainlink. Another competitor is Moralis, which is doing the same and operating in the same industry. And they have a smaller valuation. They are valued at 215 million, and they're working closely with Polygon and MetaMask. And here is another competitor from UK, which is smaller one. And considering the sizes of the competitors, we can understand how fast and how big the project can grow in the future. Then what we will do, we go to tokenomics section, and here we are analyzing the utility, the distribution, and the distribution period of the token to understand if the token will have inflationary or deflationary model. Are there any events in the future that will impact the token price and create a big selling pressure? Actually, we need to understand how the token will be used in the future to know if this investment can be profitable. So for bottom, we have a deflationary token, which have the main utility of medium exchange for users and developers who will use APIs. And it will be utility token. And also in the future, they are planning to build a DAO on top of existing solutions. So the token will have governance rights where DAO participants will be eligible to voting for different proposals. We know that 25% of tokens is allocated to investors. And on average, what we can see with startups is a good allocation to investors is from 20 to 30%. Everything bigger than 30 can be understood and can create selling pressure from investors in the future. So what we are targeting is from 20 to 30%. And for Voton, they have 25, which is good. And if we took a look at allocation of tokens to the team, we have 16.5%, and it's in total with advisors. And usually a good metric, good allocation will be anything between 12 to 20%. If we have less than 12%, we can see that team has not enough skin in the game and they can abandon the project in the future. And if they have more than 20%, it can be considered as a greedy case. And we can expect some additional manipulation from the team, for example, to boost the price of the token and to cash out from it. What is also important to consider is the vesting schedule for investors versus team. So basically, in startups, the team should be the latest one who is exiting the token. So the vesting schedule for the team should be the longest, and then the startup from the tokenomics point of view can be considered as a sustainable one. Then we have a few more sections to analyze, and the next one is called communities, where we are using different tools to analyze project Web3 communities. So basically, we're looking at Twitter, Discord, Telegram, and Medium. And for Twitter, we have a tool that is called Twitter Score, which allows to check the number of influential followers from the Web3 world. So we can look at project Twitter using this tool and see if, for example, a big Web3 fund is following this project or not. For Telegram and Discord, we are calculating engagement rate to understand how the project is actually communicating with the followers and how big their community is and can grow in the future. Then we go to backers and partners, so basically investors, and we review previous rounds, what was the size of the round and who invested. So for Voton, we can see that in 2019, there was a seed round for €500,000, and there were investors like Draper B1 and Zen and Vapor Stream. It's Spanish local VCs. And also we are reviewing the grants that project received or still in the process of receiving. So the case for Voton is that they received grants for €1.75 million, and these grants were by Spanish government, Stellar Foundation, and Avex Labs, which is the organization behind the Avalanche. And the last thing to consider is the roadmap. So actually it is the short-term and long-term plan for the project development. And for Voton case, their main target for upcoming months is to develop a community, create a community of developers who actually will be the clients of the project. So it can be considered as a go-to-market strategy. They are working on finalizing the tokenomics and launching their token. And also they are expanding their team with sales expert and building their marketing. And they are entering new markets. As you can see, they are already present in USA, but they are targeting Mexico and Argentina to provide their services and scale. And after having all this information, we're going to executive summary, where we calculated the average rate from each section. And for Wotan, we have 4.125 out of 5. And here are the main points that we are having from the deal sheet, from this analytical document. So we can see that we have a growing interest in Web3 development market. And for the team of Wotan, they've been working with the project for over 4 years already. And they have quite good potential because their product is already launched and they are generating revenue. But what they are doing right now, they are scaling and shifting from the model where clients are paying for service to the model where clients are basically paying for subscription, and having this SaaS model allows them to scale in the future. And here we are trying to have like a simple personal touch and summary from the analyst. What is the main advantage and what is the potential of the project in the future? So here we have the simple message from our analyst that the product is good and demand for this product is high already, and it will only increase in the coming years. So they have already, the Wotan have already 47 customers, and they are expanding the number of customers with each month. So it can be considered as a positive sign. And if the model of subscription will be realized, it will be a good perspective for this business.
Petra, hello. Let me jump in here. I think we have some questions from the audience, and I would be very happy to help and answer them. First of all, I saw a nice question about our deal sheet regarding the summary or overall rate. For this purpose, we use a project evaluation that's a separate document where we use various criteria with different grades and offer for at least 3 team members to evaluate every criteria on details. In the end, we have different types of scores, and we use to this document. Another question: how many days in total does the process take? In our practice, usually it takes from 1 to 2 months, but of course, practically it can be a bit longer. Speaking about the most effective CRM, on my opinion, I think it depends on your goals, on your expectations from it. I think for us, Decile Hub, a CRM that was built by VC Lab, an educational program for venture capital, is the most effective because it has all the information and structure for fundraising as well as for deals in one place. Answering the next question. Also, when valuing a startup, what valuation method works best for Web3 startups? It depends on what asset class are you evaluating. For tokens, we use a separate evaluation method that we have built on our own that includes actually many parts. At the same time, it has also a stage of the current market. So we know the temperature in the room, and we add this information as well to this valuation method. Speaking about the equity investments, I can even share my screen and give you some insights on our program. I think that will at the same time give you better understanding how the program is structured right now. Do you see my screen? Hopefully you see it. So as you can see, we have the page in Notion for the fourth cohort of our investment analyst program, and there are some pages for different classes, and one of them is delivered, one of my favorites, by Dima Foremny, our general partner, where he speaks about types of investments and Web3 valuations. And he also, as you can see, offers different tasks for participants. And one of the tasks was, that's funny, that's why I remembered about this page, to calculate the valuation of the startup bottom using 2 or 3 methodologies. So we offer up to 10 methodologies for our participants, and they are able to choose what kind of valuation structure works the best. So we provide all the information, and as you can see, this case is very practical. So you work with a startup that is currently raising money. At the same time, for some participants, we also offer to participate in the calls with those startups. So what I wanted to show you is a presentation. So after the lectures, we provide the pitch deck and the recording from the lecture. As you know, all lectures are delivered in Metaverse. We have peer-to-peer sessions that are in Google Meet, but all content is presented by internal and external speakers in Metaverse. So let's have a look what kind of valuation approaches Dima offers here. So first 4 valuation approaches are funding, multi-coin, revenue.
Yeah, Ivan, we actually cannot see it right now, and the quality is also quite poor. Maybe let's do the same. I will share it, and you will talk about it.
I think I just wanted to provide a brief overview on the structure. We can give a word to Oksana, and she will provide more information about the program. So
Yep.
thank you. Just wanted to give some value and insights on the program.
Yeah, it was really great. Thank you for sharing. The internet connection is killing us today, but still we have a lot of information from you. Thank you. So I will pass my word to Oksana. She will present the education program that we are organizing, and she will share more details about it. And we will cover all the questions after Oksana's presentation. So please, Oksana, share your screen.
Yeah, thank you, Petro, for such detailed information about our deal sheet, and thank you, Ivan, for sharing our processes. How do we evaluate startups? And basically, yeah, Ivan shared like small part of our program. It's our 3x knowledge base, where we are sharing all information with our program participants, and for sure you can find this information available for you if you will join our Web3 investment analyst program. And I would like to start with why we decided to make this program. More than 1 year ago, we decided to build the research department at 3x Capital team, and we started the program with first cohort. And actually, the main idea was to share information how to evaluate Web3 startups for investment. And yeah, built our research team. And after that, after 2 cohorts, we decided that it's definitely a good story to share this information, not only with our team, but also for all people who are interested. Because based on the statistics, only 5% from all investment analysts have the qualification in Web3 startups. So only 5% of all investment analysts understand how to evaluate startups related to blockchain technologies. And for sure, like the market is growing really, really fast. And we definitely need more people in the space to evaluate the startups and invest in the best at the market. So that's why we are really happy to share with you that we have our Web3 investment analyst program, which is run in Metaverse. And we're really happy to invite all of you who are interested to know more about the investment analysis, who want to know how to evaluate, especially Web3 startups, how to make the investment decision, and how to work for Web3 VC fund. And basically, it's a 10-week long practical educational program delivered in Metaverse that gives you fundamental knowledge on blockchain analytics. During the program, we will be happy to share with you our experience, our insights, our tools, which we use and our partners use to evaluate startups. And also during the program, all the theoretical knowledge you can apply for the investment cases. So our participants work with one of the startup from our pipeline, and they have a chance to apply this knowledge like into practice during the program. Our overall mission is to unite and empower Web3 professionals and helping them to grow at Web3 industry, and also by these talents grow the Web3 industry at all. So you can find here some photos from our Metaverse. So here is our 3X Auditorium 2, where we have our lectures from our journal partners, investment analysts, and guest speakers. Our big auditorium at the Metaverse, where we usually hosting Metaverse meetups, and where we have together more than 100 people at the same time. And our lounge zone, where we can just chill, communicate, and network. So we have already done 4 programs. Basically, this week is the last week for the 4th cohort of the Web3 investment analyst. And we are happy to announce that right now you have a chance to apply for the 5th cohort of the course, which will start on April 17. So during the program, you can meet crypto traders. Usually those people are looking for new investment opportunities on early stages. And we're really happy to share with them our strategy of tokens investments and portfolio management. Also, we have lots of Web3 startup founders. The program is really useful for them regarding the understanding how the VC fund analyze their startups. And for sure, we are more than happy to support Web3 startup founders with their ideas and accelerate their startups to growth. Also Web2, Web3 switchers, so professionals who are looking for a new career path in Web3 technology. Usually we have lots of people with investment banking background from big corporations, and we are more than happy to share our knowledge with them and helping them to switch into really trading and fresh Web3 industry. And we have lots of Web3 practitioners with us, so people who actively operate in Web3 space, crypto researchers, marketers, community managers, strategists. So people who know a lot about Web3 and happy to share their knowledge with other people. So once again, we're starting the 5th cohort of the program on April 17, and you can apply for to join the program. If we are talking about like key features, like how do you learn during the program? So first of all, you will have lectures from our general partners, investment analysts, and our partners from Web3 industry, such as venture capital firms, Web3 accelerators, and service providers. Now, during the lecture, you will receive fundamental knowledge and you will have understanding of the exact topic. And after that, you will have the task which you need to do for the specific startup. Also, you will receive feedback on analytical reports, market research, and also your deal sheet, which you will create at the end of the program. And during the program, you will have one-to-one mentorship sessions and peer-to-peer sessions with mentors and other learners. So you'll definitely have a lot of time to discuss the latest trend of on the market. Speak with channel partners, and present your ideas. And right now, I would like to highlight you more about the program curriculum. So we are starting from introduction and evaluation process. So during the first week, we will give you a deep understanding of the steps, how to evaluate, how we evaluate startups, and what is the evaluation process in VC fund. After that, we are moving forward to crypto niches discovery. So we will analyze all niches such as DeFi, infrastructure, NFTs, metaverses. And at the end, you will create your own niche performance analytical report. After that, we are moving to types of investments and valuation. So we invest into tokens and in equity. So we are happy to share information about those two types of investments, and also the techniques how to evaluate the startups. Team assessment, crucial for startups. So you will know the red flags of the team and what is really important to know about the team management and how you can enhance the startup team. Market assessment, so how to analyze the current state of the market, how does it affect to the startup success. Tokenomics, ROI, and MCFDB metrics calculation. So really important part of Web3 startups, and for sure it's like completely different regarding the Web2 startups. So it's our pleasure to share, to give you more information and understanding how to calculate returns of investment and other financial metrics. Community research. I'm sure that you know that community is one of the key factor for Web3 startup success. So our pleasure to share with you the tools we use to evaluate the community and techniques how you can increase the level of your community. Backers overview, so analyzing all venture capital firms who invest into startups, partners, and tiers of investment funds. And new added lectures, new added topics. The fifth cohort, it's fundraising for Web3 startups. So we are happy to share the fundraising strategy, which you can implement to your startup, and how to execute the fundraising process. So what do you need to know, how you can enhance your fundraising strategy, and what are the red flags for the VC firms during the communication with young startups. And portfolio management, the topic will provide Ivan Maltsev about the future of investment management and modern portfolio theory. So you will know more about this crucial topic of investment management. So summarizing. During the program, you will learn from the Web3 VC fund. You will have an access to Web3 ecosystem, and all the program will be led at Metaverse space, so you will have a chance to touch this Web3 experience. Pleasure to invite you to show you to present our mentors during the program, our channel partners, our core team, and also our partners who are working with us and with our participants during the program. We are also happy to share that we have managed to build tokenized assets to the Metaverse. So we have two types of NFTs, which gives you an access to the program, and Web3X Basic and Web3X Premium Pass. The good news is that we already have our collection and at OpenSea, so you can go there and take your NFT, or you can write to us and we can help you to claim it. So the main difference between those two passes is with mentorship or without. So will you have your own personal mentor, someone from our channel partners or a senior investment analyst during the program, or you will have this community track when you will study together with all community. So our trajectory. So we are happy to share our knowledge with you and share our tools, our insights, how to make the wise investment decision. Also, we are more than happy to execute together, so help you to apply your knowledge into practice. As I mentioned before, you will work with real investment cases, and also some people will be chosen for an internship position to 3x Capital or to our partners, and we are more than happy to work together as a partners or as an investment club member. We will be also happy to connect you with our recruitment partners who can help you to find a new place at the market, and also more than welcome to apply your Web3 startup to our support, and happy to help you with startup building. So, summarizing, after the program, you can become an investment analyst in Web3 investment institutions. You can create your Web3 startup in partnership with 3x Capital. You can assessing and investing in a more structured manner, and you can join our investment club and apply knowledge into practice and be an angel investor. So, as you know, we are also running some Metaverse meetups. So we will definitely invite you to our next Metaverse meetup, so you can touch this experience even before the program. Also, at our website, you can find some feedback from our previous cohort participants. So feel free to check it. And I'm sure that it's really, really nice time to receive your questions and answer them. So please write down your question. I will be happy to answer. And while you are writing your questions, as Petra promised, we have some special offer for you. So we will be happy to give 10% discount for one of the from the commenter, I can say. So we will choose randomly one person who will receive the discount for the Web3X Premium or Web3X Basic NFT Pass to join the program.
Yes, and I can say if you have more comments, it's like a bigger chance that you will receive a discount because we will be running raffle between all comments. So we will be able to have more chances to get this discount. And yeah, Oksana, thank you for sharing these details regarding our educational program. So let's try to cover some questions that we have currently in the chat. So starting with the first one, what is the fund performance ROI current? I will ask Ivan to answer it, if Ivan here with us.
Sure, I'm here. Speaking about our performance, we invested in 45 deals so far on the pre-listing stage. We did 25 full exits. That means that we sold all the tokens from the investment. And based on those 25 for exit, the average return of investment, or so-called MOIC, is 9x right now.
Okay, thank you. Let's move to the next question. So we have a question from Jervis. When do we see better market conditions for projects to move forward? I can take a first part, like a simple comments on this question, and even if you would like to add anything, feel free. So as you know, the crypto market is moving in cycles, and currently we are past mid of the cycle. And as you know, the Bitcoin halving will come in 2024, and we can expect the beginning of the new market cycle somewhere after the Bitcoin halving. But what we expecting and what we have currently, we've seen that market in terms of size and performance got stronger from previous months, and currently we see that a lot of startups, and what is more important, a lot of funds are actively investing because they've raised an enormous amount of capital I'm talking about funds, and they have a lot of dry powder which they need to distribute somehow. And currently, when we think the recovery on the market, it can be a good time for funds to enter the Web3 startup area, because valuations are lower than the valuations during the bull market, and it can be a good chance for funds to enter and invest currently. So what we are expecting that till the end of 2023, we can see a good performance in terms of venture capital and venture investments. And starting from 2024 and going forward, we might see another cycle for crypto and another bull market, which we are actually all waiting for. So it's my take. Ivan, if you would like to add anything else, please do.
Thank you, Petro. Frankly, we are following the markets, especially the leading blockchain ecosystems, every month, and we prepared various presentations and, of course, present the results to our community in our Metaverse gatherings. And worth mentioning that two leading ecosystems right now in the market are Ethereum and BNB Smart Chain. They are rapidly growing. The amount of active users, developers is growing significantly over every year, and that is what that is something that is really important in a long term, of course. Speaking about the regulation clarity, that of course is very unexpected and gives us a lot of food for thoughts and confusions. We are not sure, and we are following them daily, very adaptively, using different sources to be aware what is happening, especially in the main financial hubs in the world. For instance, maybe some of our participants do not know that in Hong Kong, crypto will be regulated and available for citizens this year. I think it will be from the 1st of June. So we can see a lot of adoption from one of the largest financial hubs in the world. And of course, there are many other metrics, on-chain data that we use from blockchains, as well as from trading volumes and the actions of whales, in order to identify the stage of the market and predict how it can go in different scenarios, and adopt our portfolio in order to have the perfect structure in terms of our risk profile. So that's a part of things, but frankly, me and Petro, we can talk about the markets for hours, and this is something that we are very passionate about, and that is something that our team is looking forward and following every day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you a lot. Let's move to another one. And there is the question regarding our deal sheet. So how we grade different sections in the deal sheet, and do we use weighted average? And if we are using them, do the weights differ between early stage projects and major startups? I will also take this question to cover it. So actually, you have seen that we are using two different grading systems. So the first one is made solely for deal sheet, and there we are not using weighted average. So actually, we are defining the rate for each section and then calculating average of it for basic understanding of the project potential. But then if we move to the project evaluation section, which Ivan described to us today, there we are using weighted average. And here, for example, some sections weight more and some less. And if these rates differ, if you look into different stages of these startups, I can say yes, because if you look, for example, at the community, and we need to rate the community of the startup, if we're talking about early stage startup that also has, for example, a B2B model, the community is not so much important for this project at this point of time, and it's even not so important in the future. So what we are doing, we are having the score impact for community for this project lower than, for example, the project which is not so early stage and is focusing B2C, like focusing clients, and the members of the community can become the clients in the future. So summarizing, it depends from the business model, depends from the stage of the startup. And yeah, we are using all this information to calculate the final score by the end. Okay, and I can see that we have no more questions, and I hope we covered everything. So thank you one more time for joining us today. I hope it was insightful for you, and all the information that we provided with you today will be useful. So feel free to check our website and go to the website of our educational program to check the information one more time. And if you want to, please apply and join us to our education, and maybe we'll become even the partners and team members in the future. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will raffle a 10% discount with you. And I can say that we will message directly the winner. So yeah, actually that's it. I believe we can wrap up here. Would you like to add anything, Oksana, Ivan?
Yeah, thank you, Petra, for moderating our stream, and thank you, Oksana, for presenting everything in a perfect manner. I think our audience received a lot of insights and understanding of what we are building.
Yeah, thank you, Patro. Thank you, Ivan. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, and happy that we can share the insights from our team with audience. And yeah, thank you all for coming, and looking forward to working with you during the program.
Thanks. Goodbye.